Hi, I'm making a sheet pan dinner and it is called sheet pan honey, garlic, kielbasa, potatoes, and broccoli. It's got a long name. So first thing you want to do is grab a sheet pan. That one doesn't look too great, but it's because it's been used a lot. So I make a lot of sheet pan meals. And get a piece of aluminum foil and place your aluminum foil on. This is just to help make it easier when cleaning your pan. Who wants to spend a lot of time in the kitchen cleaning up dirty dishes, right? So I've already got my vegetables cut up. I'm adding my kielbasa sausage. And these are from Eckrich. These are the ones I usually use. The bag's kind of messed up. That's what I usually use, except that I normally would get all beef, but they're gotten so expensive, so I decided to get the others, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Potatoes, it's a potato recipe, so it called for 3 russet potatoes, peeled and cubed, and 1 sweet potato, peeled and cubed. There we got all that. And then there's a mixture that I'm going to mix up, and I'll show you all the ingredients that's going to go on top of this. It's going to make it extra, extra yummy. I'll be right back. Okay, my potatoes and kielbasa sausage are ready. I'm going to add some pepper and some salt. The oven is preheated to 400 degrees, so it's ready for my vegetables and sausage. And I'm going to put a little bit of my Parmesan garlic olive oil also on this right here. Not too much, because I'm making a mixture to go on it too that has some oil on it, so I don't want to over oil it. And then after these potatoes cook, this is going to cook for about 20 minutes. I then have a bag of broccoli and cauliflower that I'm going to add. I'm not eating potatoes right now, so I'm going to let this cook for 20. I'm going to add this. This is a frozen bag of broccoli cauliflower. I'm going to add it and let it cook for a few more minutes. Okay, so this is ready for me to mix up my honey garlic sauce. So there's 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We'll start with that. Just regular olive oil is what I'm using. That's a half. Here's my 1 tablespoon. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I've already melted my butter. There's 2. And 2 tablespoons of butter. And then 2 tablespoons of honey. So here's my honey. Here's my honey. I don't know if I have 2 tablespoons here. Let's see. If not, we'll go with what we got. Yeah, I think I got it. There's 1. And there is 2 tablespoons of honey. And then it calls for 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. I have the 1/2 measurement here. So there's 1/2, 1. There's 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. Don't worry, I'll post the recipe. You don't have to remember everything. I'll post the recipe for you. Okay, now we've got garlic. Does everybody have a garlic press? Everyone should have a good garlic press so that you can use really good fresh garlic. And this, of course, is the bulb, as I'm sure most of you know. And then these are the cloves. So I'm gonna do 3 cloves of garlic. You don't have, that's actually 2 in 1. You do not have to peel your garlic with this garlic press. I don't need this in here. Get that out of the way. Just squeeze and the fresh garlic comes out, see? And you immediately will smell it. That smells so good. So there was 2. Let me get 1 more garlic. 1 more garlic clove to go in here. There we we go. There's 3. All right. And then the last thing, well, 3 more things. We've got 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard or stone ground mustard. I decided to go for the stone ground, and so that's what I'm using here, and it's 1 tablespoon. So let me get 1 tablespoon of mustard. Here it's, you can see it's stone ground, but if you have honey Dijon, that works too. All right. Now we have just a couple of spices, and you will need 1/2 teaspoon of parsley and 1/2 teaspoon of basil, dried basil, dried parsley. Then we're just gonna stir up this, and we're gonna pour it over our vegetables. So just take your spoon or your whisk and just stir it up till everything is all mixed up. This is what it's looking like. And you're going to save about 2 tablespoons for the end. So don't pour the whole thing over your vegetables. You're gonna need a little bit for the end. Well, that does look good, and it smells really, really good too. All right, so I'm just gonna pour some of this over my vegetables and the sausage. And I'm gonna save some for later. I'm gonna put this into the oven for 20 minutes so these potatoes can cook, because of course they take a little bit longer than your other vegetables. So I need to give them a little bit longer to cook. All right, so that's ready to go in the oven, and my oven is heated. So I'm gonna drop this in, and I'll be back to finish it off. So my potatoes and sausage are still in the oven. It hasn't been 20 minutes yet, but I decided while I'm cooking, I went to the refrigerator and looked to see what other vegetables I have that I need to kind of get rid of. And I had a few things, so I want to show you what else I'm going to add to that, to my 1-pan dish. You know, you can add any vegetables you want, do a lot of different things, and I just decided I need to clean out my refrigerator. So I have some bell peppers, yellow, green, and orange. I had some of all of it. I'm not using all. I'm going to save a few of these. I have some hummus in the fridge too. I'm going to save some of these for hummus dipping for snacks tomorrow. But I have some peppers. I have zucchini and squash that I've already sliced up. And I have some little baby tomatoes, the grape tomatoes. I'm going to throw those in it too after the 20 minutes. And I found a jalapeno. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the jalapeno, and I'm going to take the seeds out. I don't mind a little bit of heat, but you know, the heat comes from the seeds, and I don't want it to be so hot that I can't eat, that we can't eat our meal, and sometimes that happens from these hot jalapenos. Yes, you should wear gloves, and no, I don't have gloves on. I think I'm okay with the one, but I have had experience of not using gloves when I should have. So if you're cutting jalapenos, especially if you're doing several of them, make sure that you wear gloves. So I've got most of the seeds out of this jalapeno, and I'm just going to slice them up and save this for my vegetables, my potatoes and kielbasa when it comes out of the oven. I'm gonna add this to the pan, and then we'll have a little more of my sauce that we mixed up. I have a little of this that I'll add to it and put it back in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes, or until these, along with my broccoli and cauliflower, that's gonna go into it. This is gonna be a meal packed full of vegetables. I'll show it to you whenever it comes out of the oven, and we'll add all these vegetables into the same sheet pan. So I have taken out my sheet pan and testing the potatoes, and they're not quite where they need to be. They're getting there. They probably need 5 or 10 more minutes, which is exactly what they should need. So I'm going to kind of scoop things over a little bit so I can add these new vegetables that I have decided to add. And remember, I told you broccoli, the recipe actually calls for broccoli, but I am adding broccoli plus. So So I have a bag of frozen broccoli and cauliflower to add. Of course, if you have a larger family, you want to add more. Add however much you want. This is really a guessing game. This is my squash and zucchini. I'm adding that in. I have some peppers. You could add onions. I didn't really think I wanted onions with this, but I don't see why you couldn't. And I have a few tomatoes to add too, just the little grape tomatoes. And then my one jalapeno pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. And just kind of stir them around just a little bit because those new vegetables need some oil on them. You may even want to salt them again, get a little bit more, or salt the new part, get some salt and pepper on that area. But I also have my mixture that we mixed up, the honey garlic sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some more over it. I still wanna save some for the very, very end, but I wanna put a little more right over all these, especially on these new vegetables that I've just added. You know, they just don't take as long to cook as the potatoes do, so I didn't want to put them all on at the same time and have some of them done, some of them not done. So hopefully, I've guessed at this good enough that everything will completely finish here in about 5 to 10 minutes, and they'll be all done. All right? So I'm going to drop it back in the oven one more time, and when it comes out, it'll be finished, and you can see the finished product. All right, be right back. Okay, it's time. Timer off. Okay, it's time to take that sheet pan meal out of the oven. So let's see what we got. Lots of pretty colors. Let's check to see if those potatoes are done. Yes, perfect. Perfectly done. The broccoli feels great, just like I like it. Some people may like it a little more done. That's okay. If you do, try it. Put it back in the oven for just a few more minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. The vegetables are just like I like them. Doesn't it look pretty? So dinner is done. I have just a little bit of sauce left. I want to spread a little extra on this sausage, just like that. And then dinner is done. So here is dinner in one pan. All you need now is your plate and your fork. So let's dish up a little dinner. I'm not eating potatoes, but I will dish it up so you can see it close. Some of the potatoes, some of the broccoli, the cauliflower, the squash, and the zucchini. Is that everything? And mixed in there is a little bit of seasonings, and of course a couple of tomatoes too. If I can get one on there. There we go. That is what it looks like. Doesn't it look yummy? Nice looking plate. So plan this for your dinner. Dinner in what? Maybe 20 minutes. So quick and so easy. Gotta try it.